In this video, let's look at the integrated GPU dashboards and the metrics that it provides. Um, as you can see here, we have a project here where there's a number of clusters in this particular business unit, and they're using a lot of GPUs spanning multiple clusters. The first cluster, which is called Medium 4, it has 8 GPUs in it. But as you can see, not much is being utilized at this point in time. The second one, which is a large 2, this has about 32 GPUs, out of which 31 are being used. We'll spend some time looking into the dashboards and all of that in a second. We have additional GPUs as well. Some with, this one has 128 GPUs. This is a super large cluster. It's got 128 GPUs, but again, only some of them are committed, and many of them are not. So let's start with this particular one. This one that says it's heavily utilized. So what Rafay does is, number one, you saw the GPU count right here on the console. As an administrator, you know there are 32 GPUs here, and if you click on it, we provide you a list of all the GPUs. Now, in this particular case, what we're going to do is go to a particular GPU, and if you wait for a couple of seconds, all the data is retrieved from our time series database. And in the last hour, as you can see from this, this particular pod called Runyon Jupyter has been running on this. It's been allocated to this particular GPU. And although the utilization is 0, it's been allocated to that. It's been attached to that particular pod. And if you look at memory copy utilization, again, it's at 0%, which means not much happening on that particular Jupyter notebook, but the GPU is consumed. And the GPU is not running hot, it's running at 34 degrees Celsius. And if you look at the power, it's using 110 watts. It's a pretty significant amount of power being used. And there's a bunch of other metrics that are being used, but the key thing here that I want to point out is the GPU utilization is 0. And if I go flip to the last 24 hours as an admin just to see what exactly was happening, again, the same thing. It's probably not being used by this particular user in a while, right? Let's go pick up another GPU. Let's go pick GPU 3. And okay, this is also being used by some user here. Again, the power draw on this seems to be lower, but again, no utilization. Let's go pick another random one. Let's go pick up GPU 7. The same thing. What seems like in this particular case, a lot of the GPUs, although they are allocated, they're not actually being used by a user, which is a great example of an underutilized system where a user is hogging the GPU but is not really using it. This would be a great example of a GPU that in theory could be taken away from the user and given it to someone else in the time period when they don't need it at all.